Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what is the difference between application load balancer and network load balancer, when to use both. Usually the application load balancer operates and consumes the data at layer 7, which is called an application layer, whereas network load balancer will operates at layer 4, which is called transport layer. That means now when you are sending the data from the client to the load balancer, if it is application load balancer, then it has go through the layers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it reaches to the layer 7. And from there, it will try to send the traffic to the server. Whereas network load balancer, it will start from the layer 1, then it stop exactly at the layer 4, and then it will try to send the traffic to the load balancer. Application load balancer basically reads the header information which is requested by the web. That is where it routes the traffic based on the content of what is available in the request, which is like HTTP request or HTTPS request. Whereas network load balancer, it doesn't route the traffic in the same way how ALB does. Network load balancer simply forwards whatever the packets or traffic it is reaching from the client request, and it will as it is forwarded to the respective servers. Okay, and then we are going to use ALB mainly for accessing web applications or applications which is runs on HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Whereas NLB is used for applications like streaming, media applications, or multiplayer games and voice over IP applications. So all this type of applications the NLB will be supporting. Okay. Now in that the protocols UDP, TCP, which will be used to send the traffic. So NLB doesn't support the applications which are accessed from the HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Okay. So the next difference is when you are trying to send the data or request from the client to application load balancer, the ALB basically what will do is it will try to read the data which is coming, and it will try to encrypt first and then it will decrypt it. So one thing is important here is if we are using application load balancer, we need to make sure that data is encrypted and it will be decrypted also. Okay, so that is how it is going to read the data. Okay, whereas network load balancer doesn't do any decryption of data, it will just directly send the traffic to the respective servers which was there in the backend of a network load balancer. Okay, since application load balancer, what it will do is it will take the data from the request or packet, it will try to encrypt, decrypt, and then it will read it. Okay, and that is where we have to make sure that the private key has to be stored at the load balance level, and if we need, we can also set it as a part of the application level as well. Okay, so whereas in the network load balancer, your network load balancer doesn't decrypt any data, it is just forwarding the data to your servers. So that is where, since you are not going to do any decrypt of your actual data, then using network load balancer you can do more secure, really getting end-to-end encryption or connection between the clients and servers. Okay, when it comes to the application load balancer is slower, NLB is faster. Why is application load balancer is slower when compared to the network load balancer? This is because when we are trying to use network load balancer doesn't encrypt the actual data. It is just forwards the data to the servers. Whereas application load balancer, it is going to decrypt the actual data, then analyze the data, and then once again it will encrypt the data and send it. So this is where it is going to be time consuming process. So that is the reason network load balancer is a faster, application load balancer is a slower. Application load balancer provides another concept called caching. Whereas if you look at that network load balancer, it doesn't provide the caching. Instead of caching, the network load balancer provide the stateful protocol. Whereas it needs to be referred to the particular server at any point of time. So this is where we can call it as a sticky session. So, and when comes to that application load balancer, it will be supporting for multiple targets, those EC2 instance, containers, Lambda functions, and IP addresses. Whereas network load balancer, it will be supported for EC2 instance, containers, and IP addresses, but doesn't support for the Lambda functions. And application load balancer and network load balancer has that certain algorithms. ALB will follow round robin algorithm, and NLB will follow flow hash algorithm. So these are the major differences. Could you please go through this video? If you haven't subscribed my video, could you please subscribe my channel? Thanks for watching.